I'm calling to order the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for October 11th, 2012. We will start by rising for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is approval of the agenda, which is rather short tonight. Anybody need any changes? If not, is there a motion to accept the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda as said.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item is the mayor's report. I don't have anything to report tonight, but maybe town administrator does. You want to hold that till later?
Or you can do it, or I can do it now.
Well, go ahead and talk about your meeting.
Well, Gary and I, our Assistant Town Administrator Gary Palmer, both went to our International City Management Conference the last few days. It was very good. We heard a lot of best practices that are going on around the country right now, and got to hear some good speakers on some leadership and management training. So it was a great forum for us to get kind of energized about the different things. So it was great. The other thing I wanted to mention was the town just last week received notice from the state of Tennessee that we will be receiving a local parks and recreation fund grant in the amount of $250,000, or up to $250,000, to put in a AstroTurf rectangular field up at Mayor Bob Leonard Park on Field 2. So we're very excited about that. I believe that's the first grant of that kind that the state has approved. So we're definitely fortunate to get that. And next Tuesday, we'll be heading up to accept the grant in Nashville. So we'll have to do some more things in the future on that. Excuse me, with the board, but certainly that was a great news from last week.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
good news.
A lot of people concerned about getting year-round use, and that's a fantastic opportunity there to get use of that field.
We do have to match it, but we did have some money scheduled for renovating that field anyway, so it's not going to be that bad. And it'll give us a field that we can use year-round and at night and whatever.
Right.
Wanted to add to all that, congratulations to the staff for a picnic on the pike the other weekend. That came off real well. Weather cooperated, and good time had by all.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a big staff. There was a lot of staff out there working on that, and it was a great event out there in front of the Farragut Press, and we definitely had a good time.
Now it's time for the citizens forum. Do we have anybody signed up?
No, sir.
Okay, the next item is approval of the minutes from September the 27th. Any problems, or shall we adopt it?
Motion to adopt the minutes from our prior meeting.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now we move to ordinances, and first one is ordinance 12-15, ordinance to rezone 11482 Parkside Drive, a portion of parcel 191.06, tax map 130, located on the south side of Parkside Drive between J.C. Penney and the Tennessee State Bank, approximately 3.68 acres from O1-3 Office District, 3 stories, to C1 General Commercial District. This is Michael Brady, applicant.
The application before you tonight is for rezoning the vacant property that is located between the J.C. Penney and the Tennessee State Bank. The back 100 feet is Zone B1 buffer. It backs up to the Sweetbriar subdivision. Then immediately adjacent to the B1 district is a large detention basin, and this is a regional detention basin that serves many of the businesses out on Parkside Drive. The front of the parcel, however, is developable, and the access is to the west at the J.C. Penney service entrance, and then also to the east at the Tennessee State Bank. And at that intersection, there is actually a traffic signal. The only comment we received from the residents is that one person stated that they were in favor of it from the standpoint that they liked the idea that it was going to be a shorter building rather than a taller building with the rezoning. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this rezoning. Staff also recommends approval of it. I would like to point out, this is the first I've seen that diagram. Actually, the right-of-way is also being rezoned. You don't leave a strip of a different zoning district in the front of it, so it goes actually to the center line of the road. So it is the entire area where that O is over to the west that's being rezoned as part of this. This isn't the actual attachment to the ordinance.
Clarify, I was going to say about the buffer zone that continues the
The
same.
buffer zone will remain as a B1 district, and it will remain at 100 feet. In the aerial photograph that should have been included in your packets, the buffer strip is very distinct in that you can see the heavily treed area, and that will remain undisturbed. Just for your all's understanding of this, is currently that detention basin serves that large area. Right now it is cheaper to have above ground stormwater detention, but this does not mean that at some point in time somebody may not choose to make that underground stormwater and this property could be developed more intensely. But I think we're a few years away from that from the standpoint it's still cheaper to have above ground stormwater detention. But I just wanted to make that clear as part of this, that just because there's a drainage easement there today doesn't mean it will necessarily be there in perpetuity. There could be a change at some point in time. But the staff recommends approval of this rezoning, and the Planning Commission also recommended unanimously in favor of this rezoning.
Ms. Hawk, what are they proposing to put there?
Actually, this is an interesting story. I've been dealing with the one member, staff person with Michael Brady Incorporated, and this past week I got a call from another employee of Michael Brady asking about doing a plan for that. And I'm like, we've already met with one of the staff people there like 4 times. Do you not know that you guys are the applicant for rezoning this property? And they didn't. One of the sites, they probably will subdivide the property, and one of them will tentatively be a restaurant. Right now there's also a credit union looking at the location, but I don't know which one, and I don't even know which restaurant. We've only seen schematics for plans.
And this is what, 3-point-something acres? Yeah, 3.68 acres of
approximately.
linear room.
It's approximately that, but when you take out the B1 district and you add in the right-of-way, that's about what it is.
So what possible benefit could there be for them to demote their zoning? Because that's essentially what they're doing.
No, they're actually, because it's currently zoned office, a restaurant currently wouldn't be allowed at that location.
Okay.
The building's getting shorter, but the land use can be more intense.
Okay. Thank you.
And this is first reading, so we'll see this one more time, right?
Yes, sir.
And the next one is first reading too.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is ordinance 12-16, ordinance to rezone Summit View.
Okay, do we need a motion?
Oh yeah, we need to pass it, don't we?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So now, ordinance 12-16, ordinance to rezone Summit View Nursing Home 12823, Kingston Pike, and a residence at 112 North Hobbs Road, parcels 45, 45.01, and 45.02. Tax map 151, located on the corner of Kingston Pike and North Hobbs Road, Union Road. 7.94 acres from C1-3 Commercial General District to 3 stories to R1 Single Family Residential District and to C1 General Commercial District. Farragut Health Care Center LP applicant.
This property was actually rezoned a few years ago to the C1 3 district. The intent was that they were going to be, that's the site of the existing Summit View nursing home, and they were going to build an assisted living facility on the back side of that property, and it would go up into the northern portion of the property. Since then, they have changed their plans, and now they're zoning it to the existing land use. The back portion of the property that is being rezoned to R1 is, there's an existing single-family residence there, and the front portion of the property that is being zoned C1 is where the Summit View nursing home is located. So they are actually zoning it back to what it is currently being used. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this rezoning, and the staff also recommends it. It's kind of, if you go out there, it's very logical for what's currently there.
Why are they doing this? They just don't have any future plans for that property, or what?
Actually, the owner has passed away, and so there's heirs. And one of the heirs actually lives in the house, and she plans on remaining in the house. And then the other heir is the one who manages the nursing home, or owns the nursing home, and then she manages the nursing home. At this time, there are no plans for the northern portion of the property.
Would there be a tax benefit to them in demoting the
Zoning
zoning?
does not affect the taxes at all. I think this is just purely settling the estate.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. Well,
And that's a guess on my part. Don't
Yeah,
take that
okay.
one for fact.
Any other discussion?
I'll move for approval.
second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And this one we'll see again also.
Mhm.
So we come to business items, and first one is consider approval of request to access to Allen Kirby Road, classified as a major collector to parcel 3, tax map 162, zone agriculture per the Farragut Municipal Code. Title 16, Chapter 4, Driveways and Other Access Ways, Section 16-405. Permit approval, Alley Auction Incorporated applicant.
Should be another diagram showing the driveways. Yes, that one. This is a large tract of land that's located immediately to the west of McPhee Manor on Evans Road. You don't often get requests like this very often because we don't, generally speaking, see driveways accessing our collectors and arterials. Generally speaking, we see subdivisions that will develop off the collectors' arterials, and that's approved through the subdivision process. Our ordinance requires that whenever there is a single-family driveway or driveway accessing a collector arterial, it does need to come before the Planning Commission for recommendation and to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for approval. In this particular case, they are proposing a driveway, and you can see the dimensions indicated on the diagram that's on the screen in front of you, that they are proposing a new driveway that will be located 380 feet from an existing driveway to the west and 329 feet to an existing driveway in the east. They will be eliminating an existing driveway that's only 75 feet from this proposed driveway, and they're going to create that as a shared access easement. That other driveway that's 75 feet away is too close, would not meet our minimum requirements. Right now, if you go out Allen Kirby Road, it's very rural in nature. In fact, you might think you're on a walking trail rather than on a road, but it is definitely a road. When you look at the large amount of vacant property that's in the area with the B. Ray Thompson Farm and then the later phases of development of Bridgemore, Allen Kirby Road will be carrying a lot of traffic at some point in time in the future. This proposed driveway does meet the requirements, and staff and the Planning Commission recommended approval of this driveway with the condition that the driveway 75 feet to the west be removed, and that is what they are proposing.
Any discussion? motion?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Everybody. Next item, consider approval to elect voting delegate 1 and alternate voting delegates 2 to the National League of Cities Conference to be held in December in Boston.
Yes, sir. This item is, like you said, to nominate one voting delegate and then 2 alternates. The annual business meeting will be on Saturday, December 1st. The town of Farragut is entitled to cast 1 vote based on the 2010 population. The board has selected 1 voting delegate and 2 alternate delegates for the annual National League of Cities Conference in November. The 3 that are going are as Mayor McGill, Alderman Honkin, and Alderman LaMarche.
Well, so
I'm going too.
Okay.
that complicates it.
Well, I was planning on
Get you
going.
registered.
Haven't received an invitation yet, but I think it's probably time to do something about that.
You know, actually, I can probably uncomplicate it because I believe my flight leaves early enough Saturday that I will not be there for this part of it. So
Okay.
I'll keep it simple for everybody.
All right, somebody make a motion then.
So I won't be going, and as the only neutral person here, I'll nominate mayor and vice mayor as the voting delegates. There's,
Well, there's,
We need one
There's one.
voting delegate and 2 alternates.
okay, Mayor Gill is the voting delegate, and Vice Mayor LaMarche, and Alderman Austin is the alternate.
Well, I'll second that.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We've gone through this quickly. Now it's time for the town administrator's report.
I kind of already gave my report earlier, Mayor. Sorry. I don't have anything else to report.
What about an attorney's report?
No report.
Really? What's all that stuff?
No
you got there?
executive session. Huh?
What's all that stuff you got?
That was for the workshop.
Well, in that case, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.